Hello and welcome. In this lecture, we are going to create our first Java program. Previously, we installed the NetBeans IDE, which would have placed a NetBeans icon on your desktop. So double click on this icon. If you can't see the icon, you can also access it via all programs. And within the programs menu, there should be an option for NetBeans. So you can access it by clicking it from there or from the desktop. So let's click to launch the application. So you can double click and that will launch the NetBeans IDE. When the IDE opens, you should see a menu like this. You should see a start page. You can just click X to exit out of the start page. And this is what the IDE looks like. So this here is the editor area. So to begin, let's create a new project. So from the file menu, click on file, click on new project. And within the project categories, make sure you've got Java selected. And on this side, make sure you've got Java application selected. Click the next button. And you are given this window. You need to give the project a name. So we're creating a very simple application or program. So I'm going to call this Hello World. Okay. And also notice here, we've got an option here to create a main class. If you also take note of the project location, so this is where the project folders will be saved to. Usually it's in your documents folder. And then here we check this because we want the IDE to create the main class for us. So it's going to create a main class by us ticking this box, and it will call the main class hello world. So click finish and the IDE will generate some code for us. So the IDE has generated some code for us, and on this right pane here, it gives us the name of our project, and here there's this navigator area, basically tells us what's in our project at the moment. So at the moment, just say we've got a main method. So let me just drag this down. This area here is the editor window, is the NetBeans editor. This is basically where you write your code, and this is the output. This is where your code will output when you run the code. NetBeans has generated this bunch of code for us. It also has some comments here. Comments basically just gives you some information about the code. Here it tells you this is where you need to write the logic for your application. So you can leave it or you can just get rid of them. So I just highlight, get rid of them just to create some space. You just highlight them. Although you can leave them if you wish, when the application runs, the comments are ignored. So they would not impact on the application running. So now I've got rid of the comments. We've just got some simple codes here. These are line numbers. They're quite important so that when there's an error in the code, you can easily locate the line number where the error occurs. In between this main method here is where you write your code for the program, in between these curly braces. So I'm just going to tab down a little bit. I'm only going to write one line of code. And what that line of code will do, it will print a simple message that will be outputted here. And the message basically is just going to say, hello world. So to do that, we need to use a method called system.out.println. So I'm going to type in system. The S is uppercase. System.out. This here is known as IntelliSense. When you're trying to type, and normally when you type in a dot, it tends to give you some suggestions in terms of giving you clues of what you're trying to type. So if what you want to type is listed in the suggestion, you can just click on it and it will add that code. So I'm going to do system.printout.print. So it's giving me some more search suggestions. This here is known as IntelliSense. So this is actually what I'm trying to type in, print line. So, and then in between this parenthesis here, this method, I need to specify what is going to go into there. So I want a text to be printed out on the screen. So I need to enclose it in quotes. When you are typing in text, or text is also known as a string, you need to enclose it in quotes. So I'm going to type in hello world, and that is basically it. Every line of statement or code should end with a semicolon, just like when you're writing a sentence. So it's good to end your sentences with a full stop. All right, so that is basically the code done. So to run this code, we need to click on this button there, or we can right click on the project here and click on run, and that would do the same thing. So I'll do run, and I'll expect it to output hello world in the output. There you go. It's done the job. Hello world, build successful. Total time 1 second. All right, so we have successfully created our very own first Java program. So well done.